Hey everybody, I'm going to be talking about interventions and characteristics. My name is Stacie, as y'all probably all know. Okay, so some of the variables I'm going to talk about that can influence behaviors in school that occur out of school can be gender, whether you're involved in extracurricular activities, the age of a student, size of the school, attention on each child. If you have a school that is extremely large, children can kind of get lost in the population. So attention on the child, the classroom size ratio to teachers, it can all affect how students are going to behave in the school. A family's socioeconomic status, marital status of parents, whether they're bouncing between one home or the other, multiple siblings living in the home, if they are one of many. Again, attention with the child as well can be affected with that, or if they have extended family living with them, if they have aunts, uncles, grandparents, multi-generational living. Where they live, how high or low crime is in that neighborhood, if they have community centers, if they have access to things outside of school that can benefit them socially in a positive way. A family's culture, how they identify, what holidays they do and don't celebrate. And that also can be what neighborhoods they live in. Some neighborhoods tend to be tight-knit in the Jewish community, or a Mexican community. Also, there's rituals. Some people live around temples. They have holidays that they're going to celebrate that occur in a way that the whole community is involved. Let's see. Okay, when school violence interventions only focus on one or two of those variables, there can be a gap, and there's a chance to lose that effectiveness in reducing levels of school violence. On the other hand, when you focus on multiple variables, it can help reduce that. So in the book, they did list this chart, and as listed in the last slide, there are many factors that are happening on the outside, and it is also what makes everybody individually different and unique. Schools have a responsibility to take that into consideration when implementing these interventions. As you can see, victimization definitely is present in schools, and the school variables rely on how they work with those students. You see that external spillover. It affects how the child will interact and how they'll be with the staff. How we handle that is extremely important. So see, these are a couple different focuses. You have the psychological behavioral focus, which is going to be anger management, curriculum-based programs, therapy groups. Those are just examples. So the issue with these groups is that it's focused on the individual or one variable, or two, maybe the family. But without focusing on multiple ways the social context work, it seems to be less effective in reducing that school level violence. So the other focus is focusing on deficits in children. This means that the school is focusing on aggressive children in a way that they're lacking social skills or behavioral skills that are necessary in dealing with conflict in an appropriate manner. This seems to be ineffective because the characteristics of the students, such as personal interests and ages in the school environment may influence that behavior, is ignored. So the underuse of school context, there's just a lack of research. There's a lack of research in how the social interactions in schools, sexual harassment that are happening, that's happening on school grounds. Programs they're not related to the social goals of the school. And if they're not related to the social goals, how are they supposed to unite and create this space where, it's safe and comfortable? So here are some of the characteristics of successful programs. These are some of the school-wide intervention programs. Raising awareness and responsibility in schools, creating that set of rules that are used for everyone. It's that uniformed set of rules that nobody has there's no exception. Focus on getting all aspects involved. That's staff, that's the students, that's family members, all working together. And again, fitting in that school mission, and increase supervision outside of the classroom. So I agree that if we're not focusing on what is happening outside of schools and just doing some more research into that violence that's happening in the schools, there just won't be a decrease in violence. If we investigate fixing those problems based on social dynamics, or if we never do, how do we expect schools to be safe? When acts do get serious trauma hits in a school setting, a lot of us are wondering, were there signs? Did they display any abnormal behavior? Did teachers or any staff members, or any other students for that matter, notice a shift in their behaviors? Does the student have a history of getting into fights? If so, was this looked into? Why wasn't it looked into? Again, there's that key part of like research. Yeah, and that's what I have for y'all today. There's my reference. Thank y'all.